Good morning, Indy Lockwood, Lockwood College Consulting, with another edition of College Coffee Talk. If you're just joining us, this is part of an ongoing experiment to answer the more than 250 questions that we have accumulated over the last 2 years of doing presentations and webinars and things like that. So, if you're joining me, I hope you're having a nice brew. It's President's Day. So, you might be home, might be at the office, might be doing some work. Sort of half and half for me today. So I want to talk to you today about college visits, and particularly about questions that you should try to get answers to on your college visit. Now, I'm talking more specifically toward class of 2018 kids, but I just want to tell you that these questions work also if you are currently a senior and looking to evaluate colleges. My own family, I have 4 kids, and my eldest, Jack, he and I and the rest of us, actually, we all went to visit one of the schools that he got into, a small liberal arts school in Pennsylvania. And a lot of the questions that I am going to discuss with you pertain to whether you are a senior trying to evaluate, whether you're going to attend that school, or juniors if you are touring. So I thought one of the interesting things was a little speech that the president of the college gave initially, which addressed a lot of the questions to his credit and to the university's credit, which had to do with the value of a liberal arts education, which has come under fire of the last 5 or 6 years, because let's face it, college costs continue to go up, but the economy so far is not really being that nice to recent college grads, as 50% of recent college grads are underemployed, meaning that they don't have jobs in fields that require college degrees. Plus, you've got $1.3 or $1.4 trillion of debt. You've got more than, the last statistic I read in the Wall Street Journal indicated that more than half of all college grads have not made one payment on their student loans in the last 12 months. I'm sorry, in the last 3 years, not 12 months. So things are pretty bleak out there, and that many people predict that student loan issue to be another bubble waiting to burst. So that gets back to, well, what's the point of going to college? How can a liberal arts education prepare you? So what this particular president of this particular small liberal arts college talked about was how they had taken steps to emphasize more career services, and I think that is very important, and that's a trend that I've reported on before. When a lot of us, assuming you and I are about the same age, when we were going to school, the career centers were usually off in another building far away from the main administration. Sometimes they were in a trailer. I think that was the case when I went to college. And what a lot of schools have done recently, particularly the small liberal arts colleges, they have moved in the Career Services Center into the main building, which indicates more of a front and center reliance on, or emphasis on, the value of career services. So that's really one of the questions that you should be asking about, or asking to see about when you go on a tour, is tell me about the career services. Specifically, what do you do to support grads? How do you help with internships? Interning is probably as important, where you intern is probably as important as where you went to college. 50% of new hires come from employers' own internship pools. So what that means to me is that you should be stacking your internships so that you ultimately get an internship at a company that you're hoping to work at. So that would be in junior year. So what that means is, that junior year critical internship happens, then you need a sophomore year internship that stacks to your junior year, and a freshman year internship that stacks to your sophomore year, and so forth. So who comes and recruits on campus? I think that's another pretty important question to find out. Assuming you're not going to grad school, but if you are going to grad school, you should probably know. You should probably ask questions about, well, where do people go who majored in bio? What medical schools did they get into, or what research programs did they get into? But getting back to the whole jobs thing, because I'm much more focused on that, I'd want to know what type of support they offer in terms of not only internships and the recruiting, but interviewing skills, resume building skills, alumni network, all that type of stuff. I think that's all fair game, and most colleges don't really advertise that stuff. Like when you go on a typical college tour, you usually see stuff like, the dorms, the workout facilities, the new Starbucks that are being built, Chick-fil-A's, that type of thing. Those are all nice, but I think you'd be better off sitting down with, again, career services and also your potential department heads. So one of the great things about this particular tour that we were on this weekend was, my son is interested in becoming a teacher and majoring in history. So we sat in on a session with the head of the history department, and he talked about a lot of this stuff. And he also had one or two upperclassmen with him who were also history majors, and one of them was actually taking a lot of education classes. So I think it's really important for you to meet the department heads and ask, certain questions like, I'm thinking about majoring in X. What do you recommend? What type? Who did the best? Who graduated last year or 2 years ago in terms of their results after college, getting jobs? Who did the worst? How do I avoid that behavior? How do I model the good behavior? How do I negatively model the bad behavior? And I think talking to the upperclassmen who are also majoring in the same types in areas that you're considering majoring in, I think you should find out, do the professors make you want to learn more? Are they available to you if you have questions? What about letters of recommendation? Are they good in those areas? That type of thing. So my closing comments here are, I think college tours in general are great, but if you go in with a little bit more of a focus and a game plan, you're going to get a whole lot more out of your college visits than if you just do the same old info sessions, which are basically sales pitches, or the tours that show off all the highlight type things, the emotional things that get people excited about college, like where they work out and the rock climbing walls and the water slides and all that. Look beyond that stuff. Be a little more, a little more inquisitive, so you can get more out of your college visits. Okay, if you have any other questions about college planning at all, we have a bunch of free resources on our website, collegeplanningGuru.com. We have a bunch of webinars that run periodically on financial aid and scholarships, and we also have another webinar on how to get into college. All that information is right there on collegeplanningGuru.com, and if you want to talk to us, there's also a way to book a college strategy session right there on that same site. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like, comment, and share this. Please pass this along to anyone that you think could benefit from this. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.